What's up, fight fans? You're ringside with Roy, and today we're talking about Mayhem at the Market. I'm reviewing the card that took place last night via Warriors Ascent Promotions, and a quick shout out to them. Social media games on point, did a really good job of announcing the winners and showing highlights during the fights, and also the Vision View TV stream was excellent. I watched it from London, so yeah, really good. So yeah, let's get into it. First fight of the night, Battle of the Debutants, saw Sivenathi Jonas beat Mpho Mohono by split decision. Unfortunate for Mohono, but you know what, can hold his head up high. He took his opponent split decision. A lot of great fighters have lost their first fight as a debut. Bernard Hopkins springs to mind, and he became a generational great. So hold your head up high, keep going, keep fighting. It's not like you got sparked out in the first round. You have to rethink whether or not boxing is the right thing for you. But also good stuff for Sivenathi Jonas. Hopefully that brings him some confidence going into his next few bouts. The next fight, minimum weight prospect Mpendulo Msimanga, he beat given Mpinga by unanimous decision. He moves to 5-0. Slick boxer, really good technician, and I think a kind of next step would be against Siantanda or Pela. That would be a really good fight for him, for both of them. In fact, that's at minimum weight the fight you want to see, and then he can move on if he can get past Wapela, or Wapela can move on if he can get past him. Next fight of the night, Mikaeel Jacobs, he took a unanimous decision victory, beating Botswana's Solomon Lere, who now moves to 2-1. He handed him his first loss, so he took his O. Excellent boxing from the young man from Cape Town, in the Western Cape. And right after the fight, who steps into the ring but David Rajuli, the Road Warrior. This man's traveled the world, and now they are going to fight on the 26th of June. I wouldn't want to miss that one. So hopefully the stream is as good. But yeah, Rajuli is an excellent test for young Jacobs, and if he can get past him, he can go on to bigger and better. But I wouldn't say it's going to be an easy task. I know Rajuli's fought some of the best names in the sport at his division, in multiple divisions actually, shall I say, and he will be a tough outing, and he wants to make a name for himself in his home country of South Africa. So yeah, look forward to that one in June. Next up, Owen Venganayi is handed his first loss as a professional. He moves to 10-1. He's beaten by Asiphe and Ntshila. So this was a true battle of youth versus experience. You know, the experience of Ntshila really showed. It was a split decision victory for Ntshila, and yeah, he did very well against, you know, a really fit, really strong Venganayi. You could see in the 5th, 6th round, he kept coming. The judges obviously scored very highly for the counter punching, which was masterful. He kept catching Venganayi as he came in with the left hook and the straight right, you know, either side, because Venganayi is a switch hitter, you know, so he can fight from each stance. And but in the 4th, 5th and 6th round, you really saw Venganayi coming on stronger. You know, I think if the fight was an 8-rounder or even a 10-rounder, the result would definitely have gone in favor of Venganayi, because he just seemed to be getting stronger as the fight went on. So hopefully he learns from this. You know, Ntshila is a real slick veteran. It was his 21st fight as a professional, so you know, double as many as Venganayi. But yeah, really good match up there. So well done again to the promotion. And then we move on to the next upset of the night, probably the biggest upset of the night, was Shameeg the Don Williams losing to Jonathan Lotango via knockout in the 3rd round. Lotango caught Williams with a beautiful left hook that's kind of wobbled him and stunned him, and then he was able to capitalize that, and he put him out and capitalize on it, and he put him out there. And I think there was a lot of chat afterwards saying, you know, it was a mismatch and Lotango's too big. It was a much taller man. So credit to Williams for taking that fight in the first place, you know, thinking and believing in himself that he could beat Lotango. Lotango's a slick operator though. He's a really good fighter. So and I hope to see more from him. But hopefully Williams can learn from this, rebuild, and perhaps they'll fight again. Who knows? But that's up to the promotion. But yeah, that was a real upset, because I think everyone really thought the Don was going to get that victory there. And then Mayamiko Mozland, he took on Botswana's Tshepiso Mokgadi, and he really made a statement, walking into the ring with the dog, like holding a dog, and with his custom Tyson style outfit, which he gets a lot of stick for. I think a lot of people say cut the Mike Tyson rubbish and try and be your own man and come with your own style. But if you're going to take out your opponent in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which is all it took really, he absolutely destroyed Mokgadi with the body shot, which rendered him unable to continue. So Mozland moves to 6-1-1, and yeah, like that's his reign of terror at the super lightweight division continues. Like, what's next for the youngster? He's only 21, so really exciting prospect there from the man from Malawi. Yeah, and then on to the light heavyweights. Tendai Senakoma took on Kenya's Dennis Okoth. So Dennis Okoth came into the fight 7-0. He came in with a record of 7-0, but he came into the fight looking incredibly out of shape, and he had a very strange and awkward style, which Senakoma, he was just biding his time, and he dealt with him. It was a weird stoppage though. He seemed to knock Okoth out with like a punch to the arm. It was an odd one, but yeah, Senakoma, he moves to I think 7-2, and is really, he's one of the men at light heavyweight. I'd love to see what he can do against some of the homegrown talent. You've got Michael Head, you've got Michael Markram, and you've got a few others there, and you've got Gerard Teyser, and of course the king of the South African light heavyweights, Brian Teyser, who he's lost a split decision to before. So you've also, I'd like to see him against someone like Tuvia Veveche. That would be a good fight to make. So yeah, hopefully we can see something like that going. And then the final fight of the evening was Wassim Chellan versus Prince Dlomo, with a second round stoppage for Chellan. Overpowered Dlomo, was the bigger man there. A really good name to have on your resume, beating Prince Dlomo. He was a former South African junior welterweight or super lightweight champion, if you will. He's beaten the likes of Kolasani Ndungeni Nomeva, to name a few. So yeah, he's made a statement there. He's only had 2 losses on his record before, has Chellan. He lost to Fumpela Ronorono. So I butchered that name, but the welterweight king of South Africa, Rohonoro, and I'd love to see a rematch between those two, although he did lose by second round KO in his hometown of Cape Town. So I don't know how soon he'd want to get back in there with him, but I'm sure he'd want to avenge that loss. So well done to them, well done to the promotion, well done to all the fighters. And yeah, another big night of boxing in South Africa at the Sun Coast tonight. So if you're watching that, enjoy it. I'll definitely be reviewing that later on this weekend. So yeah, all the best everybody. Have a blessed Saturday.